Just why do so many national folks believe Penn State is somehow going to be one of the best teams in college football? Let's talk about what they're thinking and why they're probably wrong. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching the #1 college football show, welcome. Thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year-round. So if that is something you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Is this the year that Penn State wins the national championship? Because if you think that's so, I would really like to hear your reasoning as to why. But I think I know what you're likely to say. You're likely to tell me that James Franklin has put together a pretty outstanding roster that is led by Nick Singleton and Katron Allen in the backfield and Deni Dennis Sutton on the defensive side. You're likely to tell me that they got a little bit better at wide receiver, but not a lot better at wide receiver. You're likely to tell me that losing Tyler Warren is going to hurt, but it's not going to hurt so much so that you cannot compete in the Big Ten. And you're likely to tell me that Penn State has frequently been good enough to win 9, 10, 11 games each and every year. And more importantly, they made the college football playoff last year, and they fell just short of beating Notre Dame to play for the national championship for the first time in decades. All pretty good, right? Add to that, if you want to, Andy Kotelnicki going into year 2 is probably going to be better than year 1. And adding the best defensive coordinator, at least by analytics, in the country last year, and Jim Knowles, is going to help, even if you lose Tom Allen to Clemson, who helped build that defense last year that was so dynamic and good. Particularly when the ball was in the air, they went and got it. Okay. My issue with this isn't that any of that is untrue. My issue with this is, to win the national championship, you have to beat top 5 teams. Sounds like, a step that would happen anyway, given what people think about Penn State. But James Franklin is just 1-15 against AP top 25 opponents, and more importantly, has lost 12 straight to top 5 ranked opponents. I don't know how you let that one go. I don't see how you can tell me Penn State is good enough to beat Ohio State, Notre Dame, Texas, Oregon, when they haven't done that, particularly when it matters. You're also talking about what I think is the biggest impediment on the field in the quarterback, which is also the most important position on the field, in Drew Aller. It's not that Drew Aller isn't talented. He's talented. It's not that Drew Aller's not best throwing the ball deep. He should, and they do. But any guy that you can take off the football field is a guy that's not valuable. They had Tyler Warren running Wildcat in some instances. What's wrong with Drew Aller doing those things? Why do you need the look? Why is he out there playing wide receiver where you know damn well he ain't going to throw the ball? So now I know I'm playing 10 on 11. Okay? I'm also going to add to this, who has Drew Aller and Nick Singleton actually beat? And I'm pointing those guys out because those are the 2 names on the offense. Tell me the big game that they went and won. Is it the Big Ten championship? No. Is it college football playoff against a team that's not named Boise State? No. Was it Ohio State earlier in 2024? No. It's not just that they don't beat those teams. It's that the Big Ten is, if not the second most important and toughest conference in the country, it's the first. It's it and the SEC, depending on what kind of order you want to put it into. I'm inclined to go with the recency bias on this thing and say, hey, the last 2 national championships have been won by teams from the Big Ten. To which SEC folks be like, yeah, now do the other 20 years. You got a point. You got a point. You do. And when Penn State plays in Auburn, they beat the brakes off of them. When SMU, another Boise State type of team, comes down, they beat the brakes off of them. But when they got to play somebody that's quite literally on their level, they fold. They fold. That's just a fact. There's nothing else to be said about that until they get it done. So right now, I reject and I categorically am upset at the idea of making Penn State a #1 ranked team in the preseason poll. What are we doing here? For what? So they can go play a top 5 team later and get beat? They got Oregon on the schedule. That's the first time we're going to get to see anything about this team. Ohio State, we understand. They're able to do this. Michigan even, we understand. They're able to do this. Oregon doesn't have a Penn State problem. They can beat top 5 teams. They just can't win national championships. Illinois is supposed to be better this year. Indiana came out of nowhere last year, 3-9 to 11 wins. Arizona State came out of nowhere last year, 3-9 to 11 wins. College football playoff berths. Texas Christian in 2021, 5-7, 2022 national title runner-up. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's not. There's even a place for Penn State to be the number one team in the country at some point this year. But I ain't going to do it in the preseason. No. I watched Drew Aller throw away the opportunity to win a football game against Notre Dame. I'm telling you, and if you are an F1 fan, you'll feel me on this. Drew Aller and Penn State feel a lot like McLaren and Lando Norris. When it is time to go get Max Verstappen, he folds. He's got no clutch gene. He can't hold it together. His own ego gets in the way. His own mind gets in the way. Max knows he owns that dude. So much so that Oscar Piastri is doing exactly what you would expect a guy to do with the best car on the grid, which is finish in the podium every single time and take more wins than he does losses. He beats top 5 teams. He can beat Max Verstappen. He can beat George Russell. He can beat both of the Ferraris, which is an entirely different conversation because at Imola earlier on Sunday, put the sauce on, knowing that the safety car is going to get you inside the last 10 laps and go chase somebody and go get a win. Put me on a pit wall. This pit wall, man, I swear to God, it's like watching Andy Reid clock management over there at Ferrari. But the point here is that Penn State's going to have to prove to me that they ain't Lando Norris no more. They're going to have to prove to me that they're not McLaren, not from last year, but from years past. When, hey, you got them in your sights. Can you go do something about this? Huh? The idea that you can win a Constructors' Championship without a Drivers' Championship ought to be just wild. But that's what they did last year. Because Oscar Piastri was picking up his end. Who's picking up your end in Penn State when you are playing Notre Dame? When you're playing Oregon? When you're playing Ohio State? On the years where Indiana is good. On the years where Michigan is good. On the years where USC gets it together. Iowa gets it together. What are you going to do then? I don't see it, guys. I don't see it. I'm willing to be wrong about this. I am. As a matter of fact, it'd be a welcome change to the James Franklin effect at Penn State, which is to say, we are good enough for 9 wins. We are not good enough to count on to win championships. So for a program that believes that it is on par with Ohio State, with Michigan, you're going to have to show me, because right now you feel like an Ohio State rental property to me. They go there, they beat you. You come here, they beat you. It doesn't even matter that you might be playing great football all the time. You find a way to lose these games, just like you did against Notre Dame, because it came down to which quarterback can make a play. Riley Leonard made a play when it was time to go make a play. Drew Aller threw the ball away when it was time to go make a play. Lando Norris, hey, dog, outbreak him. Either win it or bin it. That is what Max Verstappen's willing to do. Penn State ain't willing to do that. They're going to play it safe. They're going to run the football on 3rd and short when everybody knows they're running the football on 3rd and short, and they're going to get shocked that a loaded box was able to beat them. You have to have a quarterback that can make the back shoulder throw, that can thread the needle, and can do it against top 5 opponents. Until such a time as we see that with some measure of frequency from Penn State, I don't want to talk about Penn State being the number 1 team in the country. Not now, not never. Change it, and then we can revisit this conversation.